Welcome to a fashion doll shoes tutorial.
This time I'm going to talk about sealer and how you can use it in making doll shoes. And I'm sure there are other brands, but this is the one available here. I found these years ago, started experimenting with different finishes and found it very useful. So I've been using it ever since. The main point is that you need liquid sealer. There are spray sealers, but they don't work for this purpose. And the most important use is for protecting the doll's feet from staining. And staining can happen if you have dark colored fabrics, like these insoles have been covered with fabric that has black and bright colors. So it's possible that they wouldn't stain, but I wouldn't trust it. So I'm going to treat these with sealer to make sure they won't stain the doll's feet. And the bottles say that this stuff is non-yellowing, and it really is. These are here to prove that fact. I have made these shoes 8 years ago, and they are covered with tiny glass beads and then covered with sealer, and they are still white. I hope they look white in the video. The lighting isn't the best possible, but they are white. Yeah. And one use is for keeping stickers in place, like these shoes. These have been decorated with stickers, and these tiny pieces could fall off if you don't cover the strips with sealer that will keep them in place. As you can see, I have here an example of this sticker strip where you can see I haven't even used these, and there are pieces missing from this, and one is in wrong place, it looks like it. So when you apply the stickers to the shoes, then you just apply sealer on top and everything will stay in place. And if you happen to find really tiny stickers, like I found these and another set of flower stickers, you can even decorate the sides of the soles, like I've done here. And I think I put two layers of sealer in these just to be sure that these won't fall off. Now I'm going to show you how to treat fabric with sealer, either when it's already in place, like in these insoles, or how to treat a piece of fabric to be used later for doll shoes. And you need a sealer and a brush. And again, use a cheap brush, because this sealer, it's not as bad as latex, but it's not good for the brush. So use one you can discard when it is no longer usable. So treating the insoles is really very easy. Basically, it's like painting or varnishing. You just spread the sealer to the entire surface so that it covers everything, and one layer is usually enough. It keeps the fabric dye in and doesn't let it touch the doll's feet where it could stain. And at these stages especially important when you're dealing with very expensive resin dolls, because you definitely don't want any fabric dye in those. Okay, and then you just let them dry, and then you can make the shoes. And next, what to do with the fabric? Well, it's really the same thing. You just apply sealer and use a surface that can be stained with this stuff, because this does go through the fabric, and actually that's the whole point. It should go through so that it'll keep the fabric dye in, and basically what you get with this is fabric encased in plastic. That's what the sealer really is. And I'm not going to treat the entire piece of fabric. That would take a lot of sealer. I'm just making enough to use this part of the fabric for sandals. That should be enough. And then you need something to hang the fabric on, because if you leave it on the surface, it will stick to it. You can remove it, but the side that's stuck to the surface will look awful. It's now a few hours later and the sealer is dry, so we can take this off here, and this is the part I treated. I'm going to cut that off. And one of the things I forgot to mention earlier is that sealer also, in addition to protecting from staining, it prevents edges from fraying. So when you cut the edge here, it will be neat and it won't fray. If you try to, well, that didn't work quite as expected. I suppose there isn't enough sealer in that part. Let's try it again. Okay, this should be properly treated, yeah. So when you pull, there are no threads coming. Okay, there's still, well, the theory is that it won't fray. And if it does fray, just add more sealer and that'll fix the problem. And what else? I had something, oh yes, now I remember. I meant to add that in these bottles, I don't think it says here anything, but this bigger one, this glossy, it says outdoor, and this is for indoor use. But for this purpose, either one is fine. I haven't really noticed any difference if it's indoor or outdoor use, although I suspect that the one meant for outdoor use is more durable, but both will work just fine.